Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Sledder Cast podcast. We've got Levi Green here coming to us all the way from Idaho, just like we are. He's just on the other side of the state.
What's up?
Twin Falls?
It's Kimberly.
Kimberly.
But we're pretty much right next to Twin Falls. So
Yeah.
I always tell people Twin Falls because Kimberly's
That's
pretty small.
Everyone knows Twin Falls, right?
Yeah.
Twin Falls, you've got the Niagara Falls of Idaho there, right?
It's actually, I can't remember the exact number, but like about 50 feet taller than Niagara Falls.
There you go. I don't think most people even know that.
No. And we also have one of the only legal bridges to base jump from.
Really?
In North America.
It down in that canyon?
Yeah.
Like in the same area, right?
Yeah, so like the main bridge, the Prine Bridge, crossing over into Twin Falls from the interstate.
Yeah.
You can legally base jump that.
Wow.
You don't need a license or nothing.
Didn't Evel Knievel do something there?
Yeah.
Or like maybe his son, or was it him?
I can't remember.
It was a long time ago.
I think it was his son.
Was it a son or something?
Or might have been him. I can't remember the story, to be honest. But
Yeah.
there is a big jump that is still in place where an attempt to jump the canyon was made.
Just full send an attempt at it.
Yeah, and now there's actually a walking path, so you can actually go and park in an area or multiple locations, and a walking path all along the canyon. And one of the memorials or one of the sites to see is that jump.
Wow.
So it's still there.
Some historical stuff going on in Twin Falls.
Yeah.
So Twin Falls, if you're not familiar with Idaho, we're located in southeast Idaho, about an hour west of like the Driggs and Teton area, and then about an hour or so south of Yellowstone National Park, and then Twin Falls is probably 2.5, 3 hours from where Deviant Ink's out of.
Yeah, 2.5. It's in between you guys and Boise.
Yep.
We're like right in the middle there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so riding zones for you are you're gonna go over towards Boise, or you're gonna go straight up into the unknown.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. We can go straight up in the unknown, up Sun Valley area. There's a few spots. We have a local area that's it's also Sawtooth National Forest, but it's we call it the South Hills, and there's actually sometimes pretty good snow up there.
Yeah.
Some challenging terrain if you know where to go.
Well, the Sawtooths are they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Super gnarly.
Oh,
in
yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Never been over there sledding. Only been over there hiking and backpacking.
Yeah. If you get into backpacking over there, you're in for a treat. Cause, oh my gosh. Yeah.
You just got back from a trip, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was that Sawtooth?
Yep. I went up into an area. I'm not going to disclose the place because it's pretty blown out as it is. But, man, it was beautiful. Made a trip up there with Maddie Arduzer, actually. And we did an overnight stay, and that was really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, just gorgeous. We got hailed on pretty good on like the last quarter mile, but
oh dang!
But like
at least it was the last, and not the first, right?
Yeah.
It's always a bummer when you start things off that way.
Mm-hmm. But man, it was awesome trip.
Well, cool, dude. So we're gonna talk sledding, of course.
Yeah.
And we're gonna kind of talk about your story, your history into the sport, what you've done, outside of snowmobiling, and a lot of just increasing your skill set, leveling up on the snowmobile. As we've been working with you, you were obviously an awesome, rider, snowmobile athlete, ambassador just of snowmobiling when we first began. But dude, lately, it's been a noticeable change of just what you're now doing with a snowmobile and on a snowmobile.
Yeah.
And so I think that's pretty relevant to a lot of us snowmobilers. Is like, okay, we feel pretty good at where we're at with our skill set right now. Maybe we consider ourselves an intermediate backcountry rider. Okay, well, what if we want to take that next step up?
Yeah.
And what are some of those things that we should be focusing on? I mean, you're a huge advocate for strength and conditioning, and you've had quite the transformation there as well. And so we're going to dive right in to the conversation, but let's kind of kick things back. So let's talk vet, military background.
Okay.
Start us off there. What's your what's your history there?
Yeah.
The time that you served there in the military, and
Okay.
what that how you went from that to snowmobiling.
Yeah. Well, from shoot, I think I wasn't even one yet when my dad had me on a snowmobile, and just I was in diapers, and I think there was a time when I was 2 years old, he had me going up some hills and stuff on the front of the sled with him, and everyone in the parking lot thought he was crazy, and kind of,
Probably would have made the news outlets today if stuff like that was going on, right?
Yeah. The old CPS might have been called if today's standards were in place.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 5, I got my first snowmobile. It was a 1980 Skidoo Citation. I think it was a 250. And had metal skis and everything, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, I got my own snowmobile, just as a 5-year-old, all fired up. And yeah, that kind of kick-started it for me.
So started young, fresh.
Yeah.
Always nice to pass that on to the next generation, right? Build that fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got a 3-year-old son, Clayton, and he already
ripping.
He's coming with me this season. He went last season a couple times, and we had some challenges to work through. But this season, he's all fired up, and it's pretty much a daily thing that he's wanting to go ride.
There we go.
I put him on the sled to load it up onto the deck, and since then it's been just.
You've already got him trained to just load that up on the sled deck, right?
Yeah.
Now, there we go.
Yeah, he's. Oh man, but.
Nice. So started young in the snowmobiling world, and then you've got some pretty cool military background stuff, and you're still working with some groups associated there. You mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about it.
Okay.
I think it was about 17, I made the decision after my junior year of high school to join the U.S. Marine Corps. I was pretty fascinated with military from a young age. I had a great-grandfather that was in World War II in the Navy, and just kind of from sitting down and watching old World War II, documentaries and stuff, I kind of got the bug that I had a purpose to serve, and that's I knew in my heart that's what I wanted to do.
Yep.
So when I was 17, I signed up, and then I had a whole senior year of preparing to go off to Marine Corps boot camp, and then 3 days after I graduated high school, I was on the Yellow Footprints down in San Diego getting screamed at.
Didn't waste any time, bro.
No, I did not have a summer. I went from high school to Marine Corps, getting yelled at while all my friends were out partying, and taking a year off so that they could figure out their life and stuff, and there I was questioning my life decisions, like what did I get into? But no, I did 4 years in the Marine Corps, went into the infantry, became a mortarman. Then through being a mortarman, I got the opportunity to go be a part of a sniper indoc for about 9 months, and then after that 9 months, I was like, I'm not going to get a school spot, so I went back to my mortar platoon and became a forward observer for them, and then
Nice.
decided that I missed snowmobiling quite a bit. 'Cause I loved it so much as a kid before going in the Marine Corps, and I loved the mountains and just being in the mountains, and I realized the desert just wasn't quite for me.
Yeah, a little bit different landscape there.
Yeah.
So you went in at 17, and then you clocked out at what? How old were you?
I was well, I went in. I signed up when I was 17.
That's right. Yeah.
I went in when I was 18, and then about 22 is when I got out.
Nice.
And I served over I was based out of 29 Palms, California, which I don't know if you know, but it's just north of Palm Springs up in the desert, and that is one hot place. I mean, for months you're not really seeing temps below 100.
Oh gosh, even night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no good.
And then I did 2 deployments to Iraq, and we kind of did some stuff over there for Operation Inherent Resolve, and then came back. And once I got out, I was kind of scrambling to figure out what I want to do in life, but I didn't really waste any time. I knew that, 1, I had to make enough money to snowmobile and support a family, and 2, I knew I needed to do something that was going to line up with life and that I was going to enjoy doing.
Yep.
So I landed on the career path of becoming a lineman, and so I went to school for that right after I got back. And after school, I wanted to get on with the local utility, so I did what every one of the other kids did and went out and contracted and built up that experience so that I had a resume that stacked up against the rest, and then I could put in and try to get on with the local utility, which I ended up doing. I got onto their apprenticeship, and I did about 3 years of that before I decided that things in snowmobiling were getting pretty heavy, and the career path I was on was not going to line up with where I wanted to go in life.
And that was just, I mean, you were still doing that like a year ago, weren't you?
Yeah.
A year and a half?
Yeah. Up until I actually left the utility in, I think it was March or April.
Of 23?
Yeah. April of this year.
There we go.
Yep. I decided that over the last couple of years, as I got back into snowmobiling, when I left the Marine Corps, I picked up a snowmobile and got back into the sport and fell more and more in love with it each season. And as I fell more in love with it, I just wanted to get involved in the industry. And then the more people I met, the more I learned like what this industry offers, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
You look at the people you meet, like yourself. I mean, my relationship with you and several other people in the industry is just absolutely incredible. And everyone.
Likewise, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and we've had this conversation. There's not many, if you want to call it a hobby or just what you're into. There's not very many like snowmobiling where it gets taken away from you.
Yeah.
And so, golf. For the most part, you're golfing. If you want to do things like that, you can go do it. You can go somewhere and do it year round. Go on vacation and do it year round.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to go to Chile or somewhere, you could consider that. It's a little bit more difficult to pull something like that off.
Yeah.
But yeah, snowmobilers, we get that ripped from us.
Yeah.
And for some, it could be a nice reset. Refocus on some other things. But by the time, I mean, you can just feel it here at Heydays.
Oh yeah.
Like yesterday was bonkers.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, the vibes are at all-time high right now. Everyone's getting fired up, getting ready for the season, even if they only ride 1 month of the year.
Yeah, they get their four trips out west, whatever that is. It's like, it's on. And I think I'm thinking 95% of the people who are here believe it's going to be snowing next week. Like that's the kind of vibe.
Yes.
It's like
it's
going to snow next week. Right? So,
yeah, the amount of snow dances I've seen, I swear, Heydays is. No.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and compared, just comparing to last year, we're right across from Climb. If you're out here, you'll notice they changed things up quite a bit, opened things up massively. A super cool setup they have, but this area that we're in right here has been awesome, just super bonkers yesterday.
Yeah,
but vibe and stoke is high.
Oh yeah.
We had some conversations yesterday with All American Heroes. And we've worked with them in the past, in the last couple of years, on some things. And you're I don't know what your role is.
I'm an ambassador.
As your ambassador for them.
Yep.
Maybe just give us like a quick rundown recap of who All American Heroes are and what their mission is.
Yeah. So All American Heroes is really just a group of veterans that were searching for purpose in life, and Aaron McCarthy really started that up, and he's who got me into it.
Yeah.
So I have to give a shout out to him because he's definitely changed a big aspect of my life when it comes to just the experiences that have come through All American Heroes.
Yeah.
One of the things they do is they raise money year round, and they work with different companies to try and put together these events, whether it be like avalanche training, like area certified avalanche training, which Tyler's Backcountry Awareness has been teaching.
Yep.
Rider skills training, like backcountry survival training and first aid training, and then just veterans rides.
Yep.
Like to get veterans that are in the industry and want to link up with other veterans, because we have this mindset and this wired connection that, I mean, you could talk to a civilian all day long about it, but they're not gonna understand the way.
Just haven't been put in the types of situations that you guys have all been in.
Exactly. And so there's that common brotherhood that's like it doesn't matter where you served, what you did, whatever. If you're a veteran, we have something in common.
Yep.
And we can relate, and we're gonna be that brother and sister bond almost right away.
Yeah. Which is so cool, especially nowadays, because that bonding with other humans is few and far between, which is how society is, right? So having that connection is awesome. And you guys, I remember you telling me, we were at I think it was the Idaho Snowmobile show in Boise with Snow West, and you were telling me about this like snowmobiling bush event that you were going on out in the wild with a bunch of vets. Was that with All American Heroes, or was that a completely separate?
So that was an opportunity that actually came through All American Heroes.
Okay, so it came through.
So
you guys got together,
and
you head out into the backcountry, and you're doing stuff out there.
Yes.
What kinds of things did you guys do? All vets, how like fresh to snowmobiles or just to snowmobiling, or were they all somewhat?
So, All American Heroes is the vet side of things. Okay. That's where raise money, do all these things, and they also do a snowmobile giveaway, which is really freaking cool. But Tyler's Backcountry Awareness, they provide avalanche training as well as other training and whatnot. Well, they have been working with some units in the United States military to help build some snowmobile training in these units. Through All American Heroes, I got it kind of how do you say it?
Associated?
I got associated with them. And,
affiliated?
Yeah, affiliated. And the opportunity came into play to go out and help teach some of the U.S. military how to ride, operate snowmobiles, and use them effectively in a warfare setting.
That's gnarly, bro.
It is. And so I'm very grateful for that opportunity. Some of the stuff that we did.
You jumped in you chiseled out a lake or something, and then jumped into it, right?
Yeah. So
with all your gear on and everything. Did I see a video? Is that okay? I'm not just making that up. Okay.
Yeah. No.
You got your ice bath in the morning out there.
Yes. Yeah. So we actually got done with a big ride. We were scoping out terrain and stuff for some of the training that we were going to put on for the guys, and we got done with that. And then Brian Lundstedt, he's the guy that's putting everything together, and he's like, hey, you guys, me and two other instructors, we got Ryan Chalupski and Kyle West, and he looks at us and is like, hey, you guys want to go jump in open ice water and on a lake? And we're like, yeah.
Why? Of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we?
And most people would be like, heck no, you're freaking crazy. For us, it was a challenge, and it was something we wanted to see, and that's very common with vets and people that are pushing themselves to see what they're capable of and see how they can handle pressure.
Yep.
And so that's what it was for us. And so we snowmobiled across out to a lake, and one of the guys, he's actually a Swedish special forces and does a whole bunch of training and stuff, but he cut a big old ice hole in the lake, big old square, and then tied a rope to us, and we wore our snowmobile gear, and he's like, all right, jump in. And so we jump in, and then you have to as soon as you hit the water, collect yourself, calm your breathing, and then calmly ask for permission to leave the water. Calmly, yeah. If you hesitate, if your voice breaks and stuff, you have to do it again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So was everyone pretty cool, calm, and collective, or was there some initial shock? I mean, I've never done it in a full snowmobile soup. I mean, the water's frozen, so you're probably 30, maybe somewhere around hovering around 30 or a little less than 30 degrees.
Yeah, I bet
29, 28.
I bet you're in that.
Well, it wasn't all the way solid, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably.
I bet you're in the ballpark of like 33, 32.
Yeah, just under.
Yeah. But
cold.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many attempts did you just get in there and just ask for permission to leave first try?
Actually, for myself, I don't know if it was like I had just mentally prepared and just expected the worst. So when I had already expected the worst and I jumped in there, it was actually less than what I expected. Yeah. So it was easy to calmly collect myself and kind of pull it together. Which
expect and plan for the worst. Mm-hmm. And if it's not that, it's always going to be better. Yeah, a better situation.
Exactly. Which actually, I'd like to kind of share this, but one thing a gentleman taught me a while ago when I was learning how to prepare for interviews and whatnot for jobs, he's like, he read a book and it was talking about samurai and stuff. And one thing the samurai would do is before battle, they would meditate, and they would just imagine themselves being ripped apart by arrows and swords and the absolute worst. And so when they actually went into battle, they were already mentally prepared for the worst. They had already lived through it. Yeah. And so that's why they were so good and were so lethal, is because...
Gee, that's powerful.
Yeah. So when you prepare yourself for a situation, and it's not like you think of the worst and you let that terrify you. You think of the worst as in like in a preparation. Yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah, you're still going into it with optimism.
Yeah, exactly.
And that you're going to conquer.
Yeah.
But you've already been there and done that already before. So if you're headed that way, it's nothing new. You're not on a new path.
Exactly. If you can visualize the worst and then go into the situation understanding that nothing's going to be worse than that, or it could potentially, but it'll help you a lot in situations where you're nervous.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good life lesson. Love it.
Yeah, it's helped me a lot.
Yeah,
it has.
Some good mantra right there. Mm-hmm. So you were telling me before we hopped on here, you guys taught the group how to build a road in some pretty dire, if you're in a pretty dire situation. Yeah. And whether the terrain is too steep, you're not on the right snowmobile, some part of your group isn't on the right snowmobile. Yeah. And you've got to get yourself through maybe a switchback or a corner or a bend or something. And you guys did that.
Yes. So one of the things that that was on the lesson plan and for teaching was how to navigate frictions. A friction is anything that can slow down your movement. That could be going through a field of powder, but you're getting stuck everywhere. Yep. That can be, going, let's say you're going down the trail and all of a sudden you come across a slide path and that road, it's covered. But if you can't side hill, then that's a major friction. Yep. And then also coming across like maybe a big down tree, which is one of the frictions that we brought into place, a trail with a big down tree. And so in some of our movements, we put that obstacle in front of them and let them team build and work through those real life frictions that they could encounter.
Yeah.
And the road building was really cool. We we'd actually scouted out this area like the weekend before, and it was good to go. There was a small section that was super steep, and where the trail met, it went from super steep, and just probably like an eighth of a mile section where it was just all blown in, and they'd have to dig out a road because, I mean, these guys are on, Polaris RMK 800s, and then also have Polaris Titan 800s that are towing the toboggans that are full of up to anywhere like 1,500 pounds of gear. So
Yeah.
if you don't know what a
present
Polaris,
a problem for you. You come
Yeah.
across something like that on
Yeah.
a Titan pulling weight.
yeah, if you don't know what a Titan is, look it up because it's a big machine.
Yeah.
But so one of the things we did was, we scouted that out, and it was just a small section. Well, the day of the movement, we get up to it, and there was a small snowstorm and a windstorm that followed it. First of all, if you are to attempt a situation like this, and you should always check, but look at the avalanche danger for the day, understand the forecast, and understand the hazards out there and the signs to look for. I can't stress that enough.
Absolutely.
But we got up to the section of trail where we had planned this, and we assessed the avalanche danger before we attempted to dig this road. And through our assessments and through multiple tests, we decided that it was okay to proceed. And so we proceeded with caution at first, and then once everything looked good, then we continued on at full speed. Well, we got to the other side of our planned dig area, and we got around the slope. We connected the trail. When we got around this bend, we realized that windstorm and that snowstorm shut down almost another mile of trail.
Oh, goodness.
So it went from an eighth of a mile to about a mile and an eighth. Yeah.
Wow.
So those guys were like, all right. And we were like, well, we weren't planning this, so we can turn around and go back. And these guys, military, being so hard-headed, and they saw the challenge. They're like, no, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
We're gonna push through. And we felt bad as instructors because we're like, yeah, that was way more digging than doing.
So digging, I mean, do they have tools? Or they do with just snowmobile shovels on your back?
Yeah.
So they're just digging out, getting.
Just shovels.
Just shovels.
Just shovels, and
What you would have in a normal,
Yep.
outdoor snowmobiling situation.
Yep, exactly. And the best way to do it is really to kind of start uphill just a tad from where you want your road, and kind of build it down to a slope, or build it down to where you want to be.
Like this, you're basically doing this with the terrain as much and as quickly as you can.
Yep.
So you guys just did this.
Yes.
For a mile.
Yes. Yes.
Just like that.
Yeah. Those guys.
Hey,
dug.
if that's your only way out, man, you're doing it, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the only way.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool to see. It was really cool to see those guys come together, and they were willing to take on a challenge. And it was unexpected on both ends, both as instructors and them. It's amazing what people can do together.
Yeah.
When they put their minds to it.
Yep. Yeah, and they've already done it now, right? So
yeah.
So that's that. If that were to ever come up again in a real life scenario, and sometimes those types of things don't have to be that dramatic.
Yeah.
But if you've already done that little thing before,
right?
You're not panicking. You don't have to think much.
Yeah.
If you have to redo that again in real life.
You go into autopilot and you start doing what you know.
And a group is always grateful for that guy in the group.
Yes.
That guy in the group can calm 12 guys in a group.
Yes.
If you've got the one.
Yes. You got one level-headed guy that can think through a situation versus losing his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's transition. So
okay.
we might do 2 parts
That works.
And because
Yeah.
this was good stuff here.
Yeah.
And then we can do like a part 2 of getting more into like the backcountry snowmobiling, which will be awesome.
Yeah.